My precious, precious. Hey guys, Mr. Teary here. Ooh, everybody's coveting toilet paper. Don't know for sure why, but everybody wants some. Hopefully, I might get an endorsement deal with Charmin or Quoted Northern. Hey, let's hope so. I need some extra money. All right, today, for our first digital learning experience, we're going to talk about interactions between different animals. In fact, right here is our LEQ. Now, your notes are on Google Classroom too, so you can actually watch this video and then go back and do your notes, or you can do your notes while I'm teaching you the video. How do animals within an ecosystem interact with each other? All right, that's what we're going to look at today. Word of the day, food chain shows one directional energy transfer between organisms. Remember, it's a direct straight line. Now, and food web shows many connected food chains. Now, I'll just let you know before we start the warm-up today, I am not David Dobrik. I am not Mr. Beast. I am not going to edit these videos. They're going to be a one camera, one take video. So if I make mistakes, don't laugh at me. Well, at least don't let me hear you laugh at me, all right? Okay, warm up. Go ahead, pause the video, and you can do the warm up. It's on the notes. It's right there. Pause the video. I'll wait. Pause. All right, hopefully you got them back. Basically, let's look at the directions. Say, match the word to the description and the definition. So, number one says, lions roam the African grasslands, finding shelter from the intense sunlight under trees. Which one would that be? Number two says, snowy owls eat lemmings. Lemmings eat Arctic moss. Arctic moss get energy through photosynthesis. Number three says the American black bear controls local deer populations through hunting. And then we have 4, brown bears eat salmon from local streams. Now, which one is which? Let's see. Well, A is niche. Which one would niche be? Remember, niche is the job of the organism in its habitat. So, niche. Brown bears eat salmon from local streams. That would be 4. Food chain. Food chain. Let's see. Look at B. Number 2. Number 2, snowy owls eat lemmings. Lemmings eat Arctic moss. Arctic mosses get energy through photosynthesis. That is a food chain. Now we're down to habitat and interconnectedness. Now, I believe we have not talked about interconnectedness yet. But you should be able to figure out, number 1 was habitat. Lions roam the African grasslands, finding shelter from the intense sunlight under trees. That is habitat. That's a lion's habitat. So interconnectedness is number 3. The American black bear controls local deer population through hunting. And that's how they are connected through, because the black bear is controlling the deer population. All right, that's how they are connected. All right, let's go back to the notes real quick. If I can do that without bumping the camera. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this, so you're going to have to bear with me. Now we'll do the presentation. Okay. Interaction. Now, interaction is basically how organisms behave around each other. So, like we talked about, the black bear controlling the deer population, or a brown bear controlling the deer population, they're going to interact with each other. So interaction is how organisms behave around each other. Now, cooperation. There's 3 ways they interact with each other. Cooperation. A way organisms interact that helps each other, all right? Example, killer whales cooperating when they hunt a seal. Now, I'm going to try to find some videos because if we're in the classroom, we already have the videos popped up. So I'm going to try to put this on Google Classroom. There will be YouTube videos. If you want to stop now, you can, and go to Google Classroom, open up the video titled Cooperation, and you will be able to see killer whales. The poor seal that's on the top of the iceberg is going to probably not do as well. All right, cooperation. Vampire bats, these guys, they take care of each other by sharing their food. When they have little babies, certain of them will stay back, and all the other ones will fly out, grab food, and they come back and give some of the food to the babies, but then they also give food to the ones that stay back. That's cooperation, all right? They're cooperating. Then we have coexistence. Coexistence. It's different organisms living together. They do not help each other or compete for resources. So like this ostrich and this giraffe, they're not doing anything. They're not harming each other. They're not attacking each other. They're not competing for food or any other resources, but they're not helping each other either. So basically it's called coexistence. So we've had cooperation and we had coexistence. The next one. Hold on. Some animals can live side by side without competing for resources or needing to help each other for survival. All right. Trees. These trees right here, beautiful trees right there. They have enough water, nutrients, and sunlight to meet their needs. So they are set. Now, if there was a drought or something like that, then it's a different ball game. Now, what do organisms compete for? Well, the four things: food, water, living space or shelter, and sunlight, especially producers. Producers will compete for sunlight. These trees right back here, if the smaller ones down there, they're competing for sunlight, but that's why the ones grow taller so they can get the sunlight even more. So they'll compete. Same thing with the roots. If there's a drought, they're going to go deeper to get water. So it's a competition. Competition is a challenge where organisms fight for a resource. Now, it could be a lot of different types of resources. It could be water. It could be food. It could be sunlight or shelter. Now, competition. Why does competition occur? Well, competition occurs because certain different living things need the same things from a given environment. All right? So, if there's not enough water, or for these penguins, not enough fish to eat, then there's going to be competition for the fish that's actually there. Living things must compete against each other for the resources in an area. Competition occurs typically in all ecosystems when resources are scarce. Now, if they're not scarce, if it's plentiful, then they're not going to compete because, if, say, we have red-tailed hawks in the area and they're eating rabbits and mice, and if the rabbit and mice population is huge, then they're not going to have to compete. There's going to be enough for everybody. Now, when, say, there's a disease that ran through the rabbits and killed a lot of the rabbits, and there's only a few, and the mice, say there was a drought and there wasn't enough seeds and stuff like that for the stuff that they eat, and their population went down. Well, then the resources are scarce for the red-tailed hawk. So there's going to be a lot more competition for them to get food. And now my computer decided it freeze up. I don't know what's going on. There we go. All right. What do you think? Is this competition, cooperation, or coexistence? If you said competition, you are correct. How about this one? This fly catchers with many other fly catchers together. They are defending their territory. Is that competition, cooperation, or coexistence? Cooperation. They are banding together. They're working together. All right? The mountain lion and the snake live in the same area. They do not help each other or compete for the same resources. So, you got the mountain lion. You got the snake. They're not, you can see the arrows. They have the mountain lion eating rabbits and the deer and deer. The snake says it's eating the hawk and the mouse. So they're not competing for food. So if they're not helping each other and they don't compete with each other, what is it? Right, coexistence. Now, if you talk about the mountain lion and the hawk, well, they both eat the rabbit. So if they both eat the rabbit, then you have competition. They're competing for it. Competition, cooperation, or coexistence? Hopefully, you said cooperation because they're helping each other. Ducks and squirrels both live at the park but do not interact with each other. Is this interaction, cooperation, competition, or coexistence? If someone's sitting beside you, explain your answer. All right. On the next one, the coyote and the lynx compete for rabbits as a source of food. So what is it? And like I said, if someone's sitting beside you, explain your answer. If not, explain it to a chair that you're sitting by. Know why the answer is the answer, okay? Now, let me flip it around. That is the end of the lesson today. Now, tomorrow there's going to be another one. And now we're going to try to post as many as we possibly can. We're still learning about this digital learning, and we're trying to put up as much stuff as we possibly can. I'm going to try to have Mr. Stacy to do tomorrow's video and tomorrow's lesson, so he still can get credit for teaching. Now, what you need to do, stop playing fart night and pick up a book and read. All right? Now, if you don't do that, you also can actually, or better yet, let me give you a challenge. I want you to come up with a question for me. It doesn't have to be a science question. I want you to put it down in the comments section down there. I want you to make it a challenging question, so I'd have to go ask my uncle to find out the answer. Now, my next video will probably be Wednesday. For the best questions, I'll give you a shout out on the next video. All right? So, make sure you have Precious. All right? And see you guys, well, when we get back to school. We're not for sure when. All right. Have a good day.